It's new wiring harness day for the Altis Delta. We also received our new DC to DC converter. What this does is step down the voltage from 72 volts to 12 volts. And last but not least, we received our new battery. For anybody wondering, it is right around 40 pounds. Grab handle for the win. These things come in clutch. Let's get rid of this seat. It looks like we're going to need to remove this protective plate. And there we have it. There is our wiring harness. So I'm going to go ahead and get my camera. I'm going to take a couple pictures just so I remember the orientation. Try to do this without messing up the plastics, these little push pins. I'm looking at the wiring harness that's on the bike. We haven't removed the old one yet. We have a plug down here that goes into the controller. We have two bundles of connectors here. Now on the new wiring harness that Altis sent me, we have our main plug right here that goes into the controller. We have our two bundles, that's the same. What I'm not seeing on the old harness is this third plug right here. To make things a little bit easier, I went ahead and took off the front fender and I removed just the 4 bolts to the controller. So we're going to unclip our main harness here. Okay, now we're going to take the little screw out here and here. Alright, so we have our cover off. Now we're going to have to take off the motor wire here. Alright, that sucker is torqued down tight. Alright, now it's time to just start disconnecting everything in here. Trying to be pretty careful because everything is zip tied in here really well and very close. Alright, let's check this out. On our left, we have the old wiring harness. On our right, we have the new wiring harness. So you can see there's definitely some differences. Here's the plug that goes into the controller on the old wiring harness. Here's the plug that goes into the controller on the new wiring harness. We also have this plug coming off of the new wiring harness. So that is a new plug, and that is where the converter is going to plug into. Now on our little stubby one coming off here on the left, this is where we have some differences. That's this guy over here. So we have our two plugs right here. These are the same on both harnesses. Here's what we have new. We have a fuse, and then we have 2 new connectors. I'm assuming this is a headlight and a brake light. That'd be awesome. That means we can just plug a headlight in and we can just plug a brake light right into the wiring harness. And as far as this side, it's all the same. So there's our difference. This harness is also longer. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this new harness on the bike. I don't have a headlight and taillight right now. Once you have the new wiring harness in, this is going to be your new DC to DC converter and the extra plug. I think the best place to tuck that in is going to be right there. Hopefully you can see that. Let me get some light. Right underneath the controller, there's a good spot for it. So what I'm going to do is put some double-sided tape on the back of that converter and just stick it right there. I want to mention a couple things real quick before we go. Number one, make sure you connect your battery to your bike just to ensure everything powers on before you button everything up. Number two, that converter has to be connected to the wiring harness or the bike won't power on. I tried it both ways and the bike would not power on without the converter connected. Even though you don't have a headlight or tail light on the bike probably right now, make sure you plug that in. Secondly, I did not end up double-sided taping that converter because I was worried it would get knocked loose. Instead, on the side of the converter, you'll see that there is a little hole in it. I put a zip tie through that hole and cinched it down to the frame so it's not bouncing around in there and it won't get damaged.